So now let's fly to America, especially to Washington, D.C., where Jonathan Safran Foer was born. Jonathan Safran Foer is the author of two best-selling award-winning novels. Everything is Illuminated and Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, and a best-selling work of nonfiction, Eating Animals. He lives in Brooklyn, New York. Sarah Groen is the #1 New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of 5 novels: At the Water's Edge, Ape House, Water for Elephants, Writing Lessons, and Flying Changes. Her works have been translated into 43 languages and have sold more than 10 million copies worldwide. Water for Elephants was adapted into major motion picture starring Reese Witherspoon, Rob Pattinson, and Christoph Waltz in 2011. Margaret Atwood. Canadian author Margaret Atwood has numerous critically acclaimed novels to her credit. Some of her best-selling titles are Oryx and Crake, The Handmaid's Tale, and The Blind Assassin. She is best known for her feminist and dystopian political themes, and her prolific output of work spans multiple genres, including poetry, short stories, and essays. She distinguished her speculative fiction from science fiction because science fiction has monsters and spaceships. Speculative fiction could really happen. Valeria Luiselli. Luiselli's playful, mesmeric novels have pushed the boundaries of distortion between the real and imagined. Works such as Faces in the Crowd and The Story of My Tea has seen her cast as a 9, one of the bright lights of contemporary Mexican fiction. And her collection of non-fiction essays, Sidewalks, demonstrates the versatility and depth touch of an interesting new literary talent. Carmen Bolusa, poet, playwright, and novelist. Carmen Bolusa's thoughtful and eclectic works such as Leaving Tabasco and Texas, The Great Theft have cemented the reputation of a writer considered to be reaching the height of her powers. Weaving through a wide range of topics and eras, Bolusa's imaginative power and craft have allowed her to jump from one project to another without being typecast or pigeonholed. Now let's go to Europe. British writer Ian McEwan started winning literary awards with his first book, a collection of short stories, First Love, Last Rites, and Never Stop. Atonement, a family drama focused on repentance, won several awards and was made into a movie directed by Joe Wright. Saturday won the James Tate Black Memorial Prize. His work often focuses on closely observed personal lives in a politically fraught world. David Mitchell is known for his frequent use of intricate and complex experimental structure in his work. In his first novel, Ghost Written, he uses 9 narrators to tell story, and 2004's Cloud Atlas is a novel comprising 6 interconnected stories. Mitchell won the John Llewellyn Rhys Prize for Ghost Written, was shortlisted for Book Prize for Number 9 Dream, and was on the Booker longlist for The Bone Clocks. Zadie Smith. Literary critic James Wood coined the term hysterical realism in 2000 to describe Zadie Smith's hugely successful debut novel, White Tea, which Smith agreed was a painfully accurate term for the sort of overblown, manic prose to be found in novels like my own White Tea. The British novelist and the essayist's third novel, On Beauty, was shortlisted for the Booker Prize and won the 2006 Orange Prize for Fiction. Her 2012 novel, N.W., was shortlisted for Ondaatje Prize and the Women's Prize for Fiction. Her works often deal with race and the immigrants' post-colonial experience. Delphine de Vigan. Delphine de Vigan is an award-winning French novelist. She has published several novels for adults. Her breakthrough work was the book Novet that was awarded the Prix des Libraires, or Booksellers Prize, in France in 2008. In 2011, she published a novel, Rien ne s'oppose à la nuit, that deals with a family coping with their mother's bipolar disorder. In her native France, the novel brought her a set of awards, including the Prix de Roman, or the prize given by the Fnac bookstores, and the Prix Renaudot des Lycées. Michael Houellebecq. Michael Houellebecq on the French island of Reunion is a controversial and award-winning French novelist. To admirers, he is a writer in the tradition of literary provocation that reaches back to Marquis de Sade and Baudelaire. To detractors, he is a peddler who writes vulgar, sleazy literature to shop. His works, though, particularly Atomized, have received high praise from the French literary intelligentsia, with generally positive international critical response. Having poetry and biography of the horror writer H. Lovecraft, he brought out his novel Extension du domaine de la lecture in 1994.